Welcome to DermTV Viewer Questions Week for January 2014. Today's episode will feature questions from DermTV viewers. Hello, I'm Dr. Neil Schultz, and welcome to DermTV. Today's first question comes from Alli. She asks, recently I've heard people mention using milk of magnesia on the face to combat oily skin. True, and I think it works. My question is, since my sunscreen makes my face oily, which it shouldn't, Alli, will applying the milk of magnesia on after my sunscreen lessen the benefits of the sunscreen? It shouldn't. But there's a problem here because, first of all, your sunscreen shouldn't be making your skin feel oily. So if it is, either the sunscreen is too heavy for your skin or you're not getting enough oil off before you put your sunscreen on. You're not using the proper cleanser and toner. Second, rather than trying to get the additive effect of putting the milk of magnesia on top of your sunscreen, why don't you get a chem-free sunscreen which has titanium and zinc, because titanium and zinc work the same way the milk of magnesia does by absorbing oil. So this way you only have one product, it's your sunscreen, and it will help with your oil control. So make sure your sunscreen is oil and water skin type appropriate for your skin, and get a chem-free one. Second question comes from Lannusa. Hi, Dr. Schultz, I'm using 4 products. A bleach, an antioxidant, vitamin C, that's great, an exfoliant, glycolic acid, I love it, and sometimes a moisturizer. I know you said that the order we apply the products depends on the consistency of each one. Well, mine seems to have the same consistency. That makes it a little confusing. So in which order do you think it's best to apply these 4 products? First of all, I hope that we're talking about in the evening, and I always like, especially if the vehicles are the same, I would prefer to put your glycolic on first. The exfoliant goes on first, then the bleach, then the antioxidant, the vitamin C, and last, the moisturizer. That applies whether it's day or night, but that would be the ordering that I would use for those 4 active ingredients. Monica asks, I have tiny facial hairs on my skin. Can waxing eventually stop hair growth over time? Monica, waxing usually does not stop hair growth. It certainly won't increase your hair growth, but it's not going to stop hair growth. Of course, waxing, as does any form of pulling the hairs out, sometimes encourages ingrown hairs. So I'm not such a big fan of waxing on your face, but if it's not causing ingrowns, it's okay, but it's not going to cause permanent hair reduction. Tereze asks, hi Dr. Schultz, I love your channel, it's very informative. Thank you very much. My question is, can I mix glycolic acid with any lotion or moisturizer at home so I can apply every night instead of using as a glycolic peel on its own? Tereze, I usually discourage people from using peel strength glycolic on their skin without supervision of at least an esthetician, if not a physician. So I'm not a big fan of buying through the internet or other ways peel strength professional grade glycolic. So I would discourage you from doing that. To directly answer your question, yes, if you cut the strength of the glycolic sufficiently, so if it starts out at 30% and you mix it half and half, or even 2 parts with a moisturizer, 1 part glycolic, and you start 30%, you'll wind up with a 10%, and that's a product that you probably could use every night, but it depends on the pH of the original glycolic, because if the pH is too low and it's too acidic, you're still setting yourself up for irritation. So please be careful. Brigette asks, I'd like to know your opinion of the different needling devices being advertised for use by doctors and at-home kits for acne scars. Brigette, very interesting question, because we're starting to see some problems with this micro needling technique. And the problem that we're seeing is when people are putting lotions on their skin or skincare products on their skin before they do the needling, for the purpose of trying to drive the product deeper into the skin, because you know the epidermis is trying to keep that product out by making these micro holes with the micro needling, you're sort of giving the skincare product a path to go into your skin. Well, the problems that we're seeing are with people who are using oil consistency products or oil-based products on their skin, because you're driving oil into your skin. And when you implant oil in the dermis, The dermis isn't happy with that, and it sort of creates a bit of an allergic reaction, and it's very, very irritating. So please be careful with the products that you're putting on your skin before you do microneedling. If you want to know about the efficacy without putting any products on, just in terms of acne scars, undoubtedly there is some help in improving texture of skin and improving acne scars a bit with microneedling, but as with all at-home procedures, techniques, devices, please don't limit your expectations, because I don't want you to be disappointed, and certainly these are not going to accomplish as much as you can in your dermatologist's office. The last question today comes from Jacie, and Jacie asks, can you get rid of non-raised beauty marks? Not moles, but the flat embedded ones into your skin. Can you do it with how to remove brown spot method that I mentioned in my episode? Jacie, the real issue here is that you have to distinguish between a freckle and a mole when they're flat. Because if it's a mole and you're trying to get rid of it with any destructive modality, you just don't know, was the mole normal to start with? Number two, did you get rid of the whole mole? Have you altered the mole in any way to make it dangerous? So I'm perfectly fine with sun freckles and lentigos and hyperpigmentation using the techniques I discussed in how to remove brown spots in terms of sunscreen and exfoliants and bleaches and even vitamin C based antioxidants. But I would not use anything destructive on a beauty mark, or something that you didn't know whether it was a beauty mark or just a harmless normal freckle. So that's it for this month's Viewer Questions Week. And don't forget, the subject of so many DermTV episodes come from your questions, which are great. So please keep sending them in, and I'll keep answering as many of them as I can. Please join me again at dermtv.com. If you have a question, please send it to me by visiting dermtv.com/question. I'm Dr. Neil Schultz, and thank you for watching today.